Hello and welcome back again. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Um, Thank you for doing the views. I've gotten some likes and I've had a few subscribers. So please continue. I appreciate that and need that. So I'm going to ask every time I start the video. I apologize. It takes me about 30 seconds to get through this. But please do like, subscribe, and leave a comment. First thing I wanted to talk about was LinkedIn karma. So I had a little bit of LinkedIn karma yesterday. After doing the video talking about LinkedIn, I got a message from a recruiter. So I'll talk to them on Monday. I thought it was funny that I had just said, I don't know if it's wasting my time or not. And then I got messaged. So I'm going to talk to them on Monday. We'll see what happens with that. And then also, not really karma, but kind of funny. I got a call back from a company that I had applied to, but it wasn't about the job. We do other things through them. So um, it was, I was like, oh my gosh, that was a quick call back. And I got a call very quickly, but it was not a call for the for the job. It was for something else, and it was a little messed up. So um, it's kind of funny. It happens. Um, Now I want to move on to family values. So since I've been laid off, I've had a lot more time with my son and with my daughter, with my wife, and that's been very good. Whenever I was working as a respiratory therapist, we do 12-hour shifts, and I would leave before anybody was up, and I'd get home once everybody had gotten home and relaxed. And kids, when they were littler, getting ready for bed. So I'm very glad of the family value time. And this was even brought up by my son, who's 15. He is autistic, very high functioning autistic, but maybe at some point he'll be on here with me. Not really sure when that will happen. And then my daughter is 13 and she does a lot of dance. Um, so she has recitals and competition, and she's on the school dance team as well. So we have a lot of stuff with that. And my wife is working on her MBA, and so everything's tight. And I'm glad that I have the time to help out with this, really, that I haven't had before until I became a project manager. When I was project manager, I would take the time, to take my son to school and back, which I enjoy that time. It's 2 hours in the car because it's a half hour there and a half hour back. Um, and it's good to be in the car with my son. We can talk. And then sometimes we don't. Just really depends on what he wants to do. Sometimes he sleeps, especially on the way there. Um, so, the family value from not having a job, I know that sounds really weird, is definitely there. And I appreciate being able to be more there. I don't know if that's really how you want to say it or not, but that's how I'm going to say it. So I do like the time um, that I get to spend with my family, because even as a project manager, there were nights where I was working until 9 o'clock. I would get something that I needed to get to, and it would just take me hours sometimes, and I would be up till 9, or in my office working until 9. So I'm highly appreciative of these last now 3 months. Tomorrow, the first, will be officially 3 months um, since I had a job, and it's really weird. Um, so I'm gonna keep pushing with YouTube. Um, with this channel, and then I have a video game channel. I like to play Magic. I like to play Hearthstone, and I race. I do have other games I play, but nothing really gets very few views except for those. And really, Magic doesn't get a whole lot of views, but I like to play it. So it'll probably be mostly Hearthstone racing, maybe Pantheon a little bit, but that'll be it as far as that goes. And if I don't watch it, my screen goes off. So that's what happens. I wanted to cover a couple other things like this day in history. My family's a big history buff family, and we do things that are so nerdy. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about them. But we go to state capitals. We're at 22 or 24. We're at 24 state capitals, so we're almost halfway there. Most of the Midwest, and the Southeast. So we've got quite a bit more to go, of course, and we're going west. So we'll see how that goes. Um, but this day in history, just one item: McDonald's opened in Moscow. I thought that was interesting whenever I was looking it up today. In 1990, the first McDonald's opened in Russia. And there were big, huge lines, people waiting to spend at that time a couple days' wages. So, just to kind of put it into perspective versus here in America, I know at that time frame, I'm thinking I was making, actually, before that, while I was in high school, I went up to 3.35 an hour, so I could go to McDonald's every so often without asking my parents. So that's pretty wild, to think about. So yeah, McDonald's opened in Moscow in 1990 on January 31st. So then also the next question I always ask is, what music are you listening to? This one you probably have never heard of. Probably didn't hear about Goose either. And I've thought about using them again because they came out with a new single today. Go look it up on YouTube. Dimash, Dimash. Type in his name. Look for the Almaty, Almaty concert. Part 1. There's part 1, 2, and 3. It's about 3 hours plus long, so be prepared. And if you don't want to spend that much time, just look up individual songs and be amazed by what might be the best singer in the world. He is amazing, has such a range. He can go from the lowest lows to the highest highs. Mariah Carey does not have anything on him. I know that sounds kind of strange, but it's the truth. And I recommend Dimash big time. I will continue to bring out different artists. Some of them you may end up knowing, some of them probably not. So we are at the end of the video. Please do me a favor. I went to the University of Dubuque. That's my university that I spent several years at. Got my bachelor's degree. So if you could, put Spartans in the chat. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I'm glad you stayed to the end. Please have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again.